It's another knight! Awesome. Big weapons of doom. Stumpy stump. Okay, I'm kind of disappointed though. Okay, that's a much better pose. The other pose it was in before, it just kind of looked kind of frumpy and just like at a standstill. I like it. Is that a double flamer? I like that head. That I really do. No, not that one. The other one. That one. Ooh, did we get two in a box or just one in a box? That's a cool weapon too. Oh. Coming soon in plastic.
So, two brand new Horus Heresy era plastic knights. First off, we got the Knight Acheron. What do you know about Knight Acherons, Alex?
So the Acheron is essentially a terror weapon.
So this one, I don't really like the pose that it's in because it just kind of doesn't look like it's doing much. Like it's just kind of, I don't know, like weird frumpy, kind of at a standstill.
Armed with its Acheron flame cannon and a Reaper chain fist, it's basically deadly and terrifying. Their speciality is basically extermination, and their presence on the battlefield basically means no quarter's going to be given. The pilots that essentially have to pilot this, because they tend to do it involuntarily, basically suffer because when they sit in the throne mechanicum of the knight, they're infused with all of the horrible things, the massacres, the slaughters that the suit has previously done. So you've either got to do it involuntarily as kind of a form of duty, or you have to be a bit, unhinged to embrace it.
Yeah, so obviously in game terms as well, this is a short range knight, so it doesn't have the kind of long range firepower that we've seen on some of the other things that they're able to have in that army. But the flame cannon, very, very good at just roasting swarms of enemy infantry, and you've got a big giant chainsaw there, which is quite happily chopping through enemy knights and stuff like that. So you can take out enemy armor, but you have to do it up close, sort of thing. Cool. So the Knight Acheron, there's another new knight as well on its way. The Knight Castigator. So what do we know about Knight Castigators, Alex?
So yes, this is essentially an anti-infantry variant with the Castigator bolt cannon and a Tempest warblade. So the bolt cannon can tear through even heavily armed infantry.
So is this just like a multi-barrel shotgun, and then just like a giant ass bayonet?
Heavily armored infantry even, and then go up close. Use that big blade to kind of finish anything off. These guys tend to be piloted by the more stoic and venerable knight pilots to hold the line against foes that would otherwise be sort of too many to deal with and would overwhelm the knights.
Yeah. So both of these new knights on their way in plastic. So these have been available previously in Forge World resin. Really nice kits. If you've got the Forge World resin kits, you absolutely carry on using them. But the new plastic ones have got a lot of flexibility.
I wonder how expensive these things were in resin. Ooh. Forge World is pricey.
They'll be easier to put together. They'll be cheaper.
Yes.
There's some really nice little touches in the kit that you can't really tell from looking at the miniatures. One of the things that I quite liked about the Castigator is that chain fed into the gun is really flexible. So you can put the cannon in almost any position, so you can have a lot of posability with that knight and still have your kind of belt-fed chain weapon there working really, really kind of posed any way you like. There are lots and lots of socket joints there as well, so you can have a few of these in your army and have a few of them running or standing back or mid-slice sort of thing. So they lend themselves really well to kind of painters and converters and people who just want to put them in a really cool pose, because it's just a big cool model. You want it to look cool.
Towers over the other knights.
It's about a head taller than most other knights as well. So if you've got a knight paladin or something, this stands taller. Primarily designed for use in Horus Heresy games. You can use these models in Warhammer 40,000 as well, but they'll be released and kind of packaged as Horus Heresy miniatures. Very, very cool. We might have a little bit more Age of Darkness-y related stuff later on in the preview. But before we jump into that, we're going to jump into the underworlds of Warhammer and see what's on the way for that.